Hi and welcome to another YouTube video. In today's video I am building an apartment, so I'm basically only focusing on interior design. So for me personally, where I usually like to cover things up with like lots of landscaping and going all out there, this was kind of a situation where I felt like the pressure is on now, but let me know how I did in the end. And yeah, so the idea was that I noticed that a lot of the new items that we got from Nifty Knitting, but also from the Paranormal Stuff pack and just like a bunch of the new packs, have very similar and fitting pastel swatches, especially the pastel pink and the pastel blue fit in very well together. So I was kind of thinking, well, when it comes to interior, I'm always so scared of color. I always go with like black, white and beige and dark brown tones, because that's like how I know, like with these colors I know how to handle them basically. But yeah, in this case, I really wanted to go colorful and I wanted to push myself in a direction that I would normally not take because I don't feel comfortable there. And in the end, I was actually really happy with the results and to be able to like actually just focus on the interior. And I really felt like maybe I have grown a little bit when it comes to interior design, at least I hope so. I mean, of course, you don't do one build and suddenly you are super good at something you were not so good at beforehand. So that's a gradual process, but I definitely feel like I learned some things. And yeah, so let me show this process to you. So what I kind of did in my head to trick myself was I treated this interior as if it was an exterior, because for my exteriors and landscapes and also for specific areas of the landscaping, I usually have a ton of different inspiration pictures that I kind of mesh together and make them fit into the Sims frame. And yeah, so I did the same with this build. So I searched for like pastel colored kitchen on Google image search, so not like all the other builders on like Pinterest or Zillow and stuff. Like, no, just basic Google image search. And yeah, so I searched for a colorful pastel kitchen and I found 3 that I absolutely loved and that I kind of meshed together. I can show you one of the inspiration pictures that I think I took the most inspiration from, and then I did the same for all the other rooms. So I had 3 inspiration pictures for the dining room, even though I only needed 1 because there was one that didn't feel like just a picture of a dining room. It felt like a work of art. It was like super cool. And yeah, so I'm definitely going to show you that one when it comes to the dining room, because that was like such a cool picture. And I think when I decorated that one, I really like how the dining room looks in the end. But I kind of feel like I failed the inspiration picture because it has such a clean nature to it. Like, it's so minimalist and at the same time kind of cluttered and decorated, especially on top of the table. But what I did is I found this super cool item with these hanging plants, and because the wall in the back of the table was so empty and there was just this voice inside of me that wanted to fill up this wall, because it was like, no, there's an empty wall, it looks like so bare and it's as if you didn't have put in any effort. So I put in these flowers or these wall decorations with these little glass bulbs that are also like planting pots, and I have to say I think it looks super cool. But the inspiration picture definitely looks cooler in my opinion. So yeah, I don't think that was the best choice to clutter up this back wall. If I would have deleted them, maybe it would have looked a little bit cleaner and a little bit more like the reference picture. But I also like it this way, and you can easily delete them if you want to. Okay, and so what I actually did there was I found this lamp that I thought fit in very well with this style, between like a very colorful style that I would place somewhere in between the 50s and the 70s. I don't know, but it feels like it was like when plastic was just emerging as a material to make furniture out of. At least, no, I'm not no furniture historian or no interior design historian, but I think it's like around the 50s and 60s that furniture out of plastic became more popular, and therefore more like big and bold colors appeared in interior design. And I can really see that in this picture. There are all these different mismatched chairs that are a lot of like plastic chairs in the inspiration picture, and I really wanted to convey this aspect of the mismatched chairs also with the chairs that I chose for this dining room. And I decided also to go with this light pink and like mint light blue color scheme, because I feel like these two colors fit very well together. And but I decided not to make every space a different chair. I first started off with wanting to do that, but then I quickly realized that was a bit much. So in the end I didn't do it, and I chose 4 different kinds of chairs in 2 different kinds of colors, but never would the same color be next to each other or the same kind of chair. And I think that worked out very well. And then when I looked at it again, I saw that these chairs were kind of standing in not like this perfectly like clean way that they are in The Sims when you slot them there. So I picked out 2 chairs in the front and placed them a little differently, and I feel like that adds so much to the to the feel of the room. It feels so much more realistic, and I don't know why I have never thought of doing that before in another build, but I'm definitely going to keep doing that because it was like fun. It was kind of hard to achieve because the table always wanted to slot onto the chairs, and then the table was like a little bit like crisscross around the room. But then I worked around it with putting one chair just like straight up facing forward, and then the table would slot to that chair, and then it worked. And with kind of placing these 2 chairs differently, I also opened up it for when I took the screenshots. You can see the decorations on top of the table better, and I think that also worked out kind of well. So I am very happy with this dining room. And now we are doing the living room. We actually, you have seen the footage of the living room for a while now. I don't know why I had so much need to talk about the dining room, because I feel like I talked about the dining room while I was doing the kitchen, while I was doing the dining room, and while I was doing the living room. So I basically feel like I talked about the dining room the whole time. But actually, not the dining room is my favorite room or place within this apartment. It is actually this living room, because I just feel like it's such a nice and lovely and just happy place. I can just imagine there being some super cozy evenings with friends, and just in general having great times in this space. It's so perfectly colorful, but still very cozy and homey, and I really like how this style worked with the items that we have in this color scheme. So I was super happy with the living room, and I hope you like this living room too. And with the living room, I also had an inspiration picture, or 3 inspiration pictures, but in this case I actually didn't use any of those. I just used, I just got inspired by the items that we had in the game for the living room, and that worked out perfectly. So in this case I didn't need a reference picture. But it was still nice to have them just for the color scheme and stuff. And the bedroom was when the uni student side of things of this apartment really came into play, because I don't know if you have noticed yet, but this this apartment where I'm building this is actually the Penny Possessed apartment. Because I really like this one. It's not that big. It's kind of small, even though it's not super small. I mean, for a uni student this is huge, but it's one of the smaller apartments there, but it doesn't have any super negative traits, and it has a few windows, so it's actually pretty nice with the lighting and stuff. I really like this apartment, so I wanted to do this in Penny Pizzazz apartment, but I kind of didn't really have her in mind when I decorated this. I don't really know if this would be her style, also like all of this being decorated so like cutesy and pastel-y. I think she wants to appear more cool and stuff. Oh, that also reminds me that I wanted to say that I think this original EA apartment was like exceptionally well furnished for an EA apartment. They had like several like furniture items where the decoration slots were actually filled out with decoration. The kitchen was decorated with like fitting items, so this was actually a very nice apartment to begin with, where Penny Pizzazz lives in. At least in my opinion, it was kind of nice, especially for an EA build. But as I was trying to say, I imagined someone else living here than Penny Pizzazz. Penny Pizzazz? Yeah, I think that's how you say the name. So I imagined a uni student living here who maybe has a little bit more money than your average uni student, and when they first moved out from their home and got their first own apartment, they just wanted to decorate it for like as to be the apartment of their dreams. Basically, this isn't a super expensive apartment for The Sims. I think when I upload it as a room, it is like about the price of a starter home, maybe a little bit more. I don't really actually know, but it's not actually that like expensive. But still, it is like decorated to their heart's content. And in the bedroom, I made sure to also give them a creative outlet, because next to the door they have the studying space, and it's pretty like cramped and tiny, and I just imagine them sitting there and doing their uni work for 10 hours just in this tiny little corner, with also the bookshelf and stuff on the wall. And if you do something like that, like I can speak from experience, if you sit there and study for like 10-11 hours, you just need a creative outlet. At least if you're a creative person. If you're more like an athletic person, you need this like outlet of going out and going for a run, but I definitely need that creative outlet when I want to study for hours. So I also put a little drawing station in this like basically tiny little bedroom. I don't know how I made this into a sleeping room with a mirror and a wardrobe, and also like the side table, but then there's also a drawing space and an office space. So I don't really know how I did that, but it kind of worked. And you saw me do it, so it did work. You saw it. And yeah, in the end, I was super happy with the bedroom. And now the time is already over. I didn't talk about the bathroom at all, but the bathroom also was kind of an afterthought. I didn't really have an inspiration picture or anything for that. So yeah, I hope you like this apartment. I hope you think it's cute. And yeah, I was really happy to give myself an interior challenge for once. I think I really grown from it, and I hope my interiors in the future are going to be better. I'm definitely working on that. And yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. If you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy. I hope we'll see each other again.